Hello there, all my YouTube friends. My name is Chris. I am the Man Collects, and I thank you for joining me here for another edition of Man Talk. We're going to take a look at some toy news, but first of all, you end up enjoying this video, do me a favor and hit that thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the Man Collects, consider subscribing to the channel. If you do, make sure you hit that bell for notifications. That way you will know when I drop new content. Also, in the description of this video, you will see a link to my Instagram page. Go over there, check that out. Give me a follow, send me a message, should you choose to. Alright, all the shameless plugs for my social media and stuff is out of the way. Let's get down to it, guys. We have a new retro-carded Spider-Man wave coming from Marvel Legends. Now, a lot of the people so far have said this one's been a little bit lackluster, and most websites I've seen it on, it is at the glorious new price for Marvel Legends figures of $27.99, which stinks, I know, but it's where we are in collecting, guys. We're just going to have to vote with our wallets if we think this stuff's too high price. If we quit buying it, they'll drop the prices down. That or Ross and Ollie's will get flooded and we'll get it for a better price then. But anyways, let's look at this stuff. First one we're going to look at is Spider-Man 2099. Now, my personal opinion, I think that was one of the stronger of the 2099 books that came out back in the 90s. I've got all the original runs of those things when they first came out, but Spider-Man was definitely my favorite comic out of that. I love the look of the costume on this one. If I didn't already have a Spider-Man 2099, I'd probably go for this one, but I don't see it as enough of an upgrade over the one I already have, to be quite honest. That's just my personal opinion on it. Let me know what you think in the comments. But again, if it was maybe around 20 bucks, yeah, I might would grab another one. For almost $30, yeah, I'm going to pass. Now, one thing I do want to say, we are looking at these on Go New Meta's website. If you haven't visited Go New Meta yet, go check them out. I'll have a link to their site in the description of this video. If you do buy from Go New Meta, $5 flat shipping as you see up here, or free shipping if you spend more than $100. Our buddy Carlos over at T3 Collects, he is affiliated with Go New Meta. He has a discount code, T3Collects101 will get you 10% off. Now that's 10% off of in-stock and pre-order items. So keep that in mind. You can save a little bit of money on some of this stuff if you get it from Go New Meta and use Carlos's discount code. Alright, now enough shameless plugs for them. We got Spider-Man 2099, the first figure we're going to look at out of the wave. Again, the figure looks great. If I didn't already have one, I'd probably consider getting this one. But now let's take a look at the rest of the figure line, and we will discuss the ones that I have picked up so far. I have got pre-orders in. Oh, and most of these are showing, on every website I've looked at, they're showing a 2026 estimated delivery date. So we may not see these in 2025. They may show up on store shelves, maybe close to the end of the year. But I would say these are probably in 2026 when you see most of the distribution on these hit. But hey, the way that stuff goes nowadays, who knows? You may see them on the shelves next week the way distribution's been for the past couple of years. But let's take a look at the rest of these guys. Got Spidey 2099. Now, this is the one I am the most excited about. I have got, I can't remember the issue number, but I have got the comic where Cardiac first appeared. And I don't know why. I think it was just the look, the blue and the white. I thought he was awesome when he first came out. I thought he looked sweet. So I'm glad we're getting a figure. I guess, as far as I know, he was one of the more obscure Spider-Man rogues. I don't remember him ever being like a main storyline with him. He was kind of like, I guess, a filler villain back in the day when I read Spider-Man. But I do have a pre-order in for this guy, and I did pre-order from Go New Meta here. But this is the one, honestly, I'm the most excited about because I thought that's kind of cool. We're getting one of the villains I thought was kind of neat back in the day. It's kind of more obscure that I didn't expect to get an action figure of. So he looks like he's pretty good size and beefy there, looking at him in the card pack and the package. So looking forward to getting that one in when we get Cardiac. Let's take a look at the rest of them. We got 4 more figures. This is the other one I put in a pre-order for. This is Spider-Venom. I think this looks sweet. I am not familiar with the story this came from, but I am a sucker for a Spider-Man or a Venom figure with a black suit. So I definitely wanted to grab this one for the collection. So him and Cardiac are the only 2 I have on pre-order so far from this wave. I may pick up a couple others if I see them in store and get to look at them in hand, but I don't know. But right now I'm pretty satisfied with just selling for Cardiac and Spider-Venom here. But again, you can see here he comes with awesome accessories. He's got alternate head sculpts with different hands. I like how the web looks like a chain, almost like a Ghost Rider effect. Again, this makes me want to look as far as the comic stories involving this, see what this was all about. It says down here, Eddie Brock and his son Dylan go to war over Venom. The symbiote chooses to bond with former host Peter Parker to become Spider-Venom. So I guess Parker got the symbiote back at some point in the comics. So that sounds pretty interesting, but check this out, guys. The figure looks great. Again, I'm a sucker for a black suit Spider-Man, Venom, whatever. So this probably will be a pickup for me to go in the collection. Another black suit symbiote Spider-Man figure. What is going to be a pickup to have it on pre-order. This was one right here that I went back and forth on, guys. I am a huge fan of Nightcrawler. Now, I do not remember Nightcrawler ever being Spider-Man. This had to come about way after I read comics, or way back in the day before I started reading comics. But you have Nightcrawler, or Uncanny Spider-Man, which is Nightcrawler as Spider-Man. I like how he's got the sword there. He actually looks pretty cool in a Spider-Man costume, I gotta say. And given Kurt Wagner's acrobatic stuff there in the comics, I think he'd be a good fit for a Spider-Man. Honestly, the way he conducted himself in the books, sweet looking figure. This is one, if I see this in person, it'll probably come home with me. It just looks too awesome with the black and the red there. It comes with a trademark sword. Nightcrawler usually always use some kind of a sword, but here you see your other accessories he comes with. You got a few, it looks like he's flipping you off right there, but a few different hands there. You got the BAMF for the teleportation little cloud, and then he does come with his sword. I hope that sword is not super soft plastic or soft rubber. That means it's going to bend easy. Hopefully it's going to be kind of rigid, so it won't come out of the package bent. But just look at that figure. I think that looks awesome with that black and red. So can't wait to see this one in person, and more than likely this will come home with the man collects if I see this hanging on a store peg somewhere. The only thing that deters me from it, to keep me a little bit at bay and keep me calm, is that price point. We're going to try to do better in 2026, not just buy everything we see. Alright, this one, when I first saw the teaser image of this, I forgot about the owl character. I thought it was some kind of weird colonial Wolverine, because he had the little things there on his hand. I thought that was supposed to be Wolverine's claws, and then with the hairdo there, I was kind of taken aback. But then when I got to look at more, I was like, no, that's not Wolverine, that's the owl figure. But this is another kind of obscure character they're putting out there, I thought. So kudos to the Hasbro for giving us some characters you don't always see in action figure form, like the owl. This one does look pretty good, and I am going to pass on this one. I'm not going to pick it up for the collection, but again, nothing wrong with it here. I think it's a good entry and a character that I can't remember seeing before. Go New Meta's got a glitch on their website. They got Nightcrawler here instead of the card back for Owl, so... But there we go. You got plenty of shots there of the figure. Just close your eyes and imagine the Owl's graphics on there and him in the bubble instead of Nightcrawler Spider-Man. And then our last figure in the wave. I have no idea who the Hypno Hustler is. I do not remember this character any in Spider-Man books. I know, no defense to the character, I'm just not familiar with any backstory or anything about this guy. But again, the figure looks cool. I mean, it comes in good accessories there. You got a guitar. That's pretty sweet. Extra hands, a microphone. Some little blast effects there that come with him. But again, the shots of it look pretty cool. Apparently he shoots stuff out of his boots. But again, I need to do some research on who this character is. I just don't know, guys. I don't remember this from any of the comics I ever read. But it does look cool. Again, he got some cool accessories that comes with him. There's a look at him on the card back. This one I'll probably pass on unless I was to find it for like a $7.49 clearance or Target or something like that. But that does round out our next Spider-Man retro card wave. Again, should be coming around the beginning of 2026, and they are $27.99, at least for most places that I have looked at them. And we do have some more Marvel Legends news to take a look at. Before we get to that, though, we're going to use In Pursuit of Toys. Once again, if you've watched these videos before, you know that I use them for a lot of my toy news. I will have a link to In Pursuit of Toys' Instagram page in the description of this video. If you have an Instagram account, I would suggest giving them a follow if you are a collector or into the stuff in the world of toys here, because they're, again, an excellent source of toy news. I use them for a lot of the stuff I do here on my channel as far as toy news goes. I get a lot of barcode pictures, DPCI, stuff like that from In Pursuit of Toys. So once again, be sure to give them a check over on Instagram. Give them a follow, tag them in post, all that fun stuff. But let's take a look at the next few images they got here from a couple of recent conventions that they did share on their Instagram feed. So let's take a look and see what we got. The first one, we have a new peg warmer coming to shelves in probably 2026, maybe. I don't really know. This was announced at the Lucca Comics and Games in Italy. It is the Marvel Studios Iron Man Mark III. Now, this is going to be another one of those, what they call the evergreen, where they keep this on the shelves. I'll try to always have product on shelf was the goal of these figures. You had Captain America and Spider-Man. You had that, Mark 45 Iron Man maybe before that was on there forever, and I can't remember the other figure. It was with that first Iron Man, but this is the next wave of these coming, the Iron Man Mark III. Does look good. I've got the Captain America that's considered the evergreen. I've got that first version of Iron Man. I waited till they went on clearance before I got them, but I did pick those up, and they're solid figures, so I may grab this one at some point if it goes on a clearance, but I've got so many Iron Man figures, I don't know if I'm going to grab this or not, but you will be seeing this one coming to shelves here. I don't see anything about a release date or when it might be coming, but Once again, another Iron Man Mark III here coming from Marvel Legends to be on the pegs at Target and Walmart probably until the end of 2026, the way these figures usually go. Anywho, let's take a look at the next one, because this one does have me very excited. Nimrod. I thought that was a stupid name back in the day, and they put the pink accents on there, but this guy right here was one of the baddest MFers as far as the Sentinels goes back in the X-Men comics. I always liked the Nimrod character. I still have my old Toy Biz version of that from back in the day, you know, from the X-Men figures was out back in the late 90s, early 2000s. So glad to see this thing come out. Depending the price, I will definitely pick this up unless it's like 60 or 70 bucks. In no way. I'm assuming this is going to be like Strong Guy, and then probably around $39, probably maybe $44 given the size of him there. But if it's less than $50, I'll probably be in on at least one of these, and then hope they hit clearance or hope they hit Ross or something. We can army build these things, because that would be a cool figure to have multiples of, but the price, I think, is going to prohibit that. But once again, it does look awesome. Look, it's going to be big and beefy like the character should be. Looking forward to getting this one for the collection. Like I said, if it's less than $50 or less, I'm in. If it's over 50 bucks, I'm probably going to pump the brakes on this one. But let me know what you think in the comments on this stuff from the Luca Comics and Games in Italy, because this and the Iron Man, that's all I saw that got announced from Marvel Legends. Not going to say I might not have missed anything, but we got a couple of reveals from that, and we got a couple more things here from Marvel Legends on In Pursuit. Now, this was MCM Comic-Con where this got announced, but you have the diamond form of the White Queen, Emma Frost, coming from the Uncanny X-Men Retro Card Wave. Oh, yeah, it will be. I was getting ready to make a prediction, and I would have been right if that right there hadn't been there. I did not see that. I was getting ready to say I'm betting this will be a Target exclusive. So it is going to be a Target exclusive for this retro card figure. Now, one good thing about that, these Target exclusive Marvel Legends figures, they're usually easier to find than the Walmarts. The Walmarts can be a pain in the you-know-what to try to track down. And they usually end up marked down at Ollie's or Ross if a couple years after they come out. But this one's a pass for me. I like the White Queen character, but not enough to get this one. I got the one from X-Men 97. Now, if they had a human version of her in this outfit, or version maybe where it's not based on the cartoon, I might would grab it. But yeah, not going to look to get this one. It does come with some very cool accessories, though. That little file there, a sealed envelope or whatever. Got the seal there from Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters. And some of the stuff it comes with there. And Danger Room, programming manual. That's pretty sweet as well. But once again, this is a pass for me. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments. Are you going to be grabbing the diamond formed Emma Frost? They do not mention the price in this post anywhere, but I'm assuming it will be $27.99. We'll have to wait and see once it does go up for pre-order and then start showing up in Target. One more we're going to take a look at here. This excites me, quite honestly. I love the old X-Men arcade game. And there were multiple different color variations of the Sentinels. But if you guys remember, we just got a 2-pack of these. Was it in 25 or 2024 when that came out? This is just a repaint of those. But it is based on other color versions of the Sentinels from that arcade game. So here we go. The first set was a Hasbro Pulse exclusive, and this is going to be the same thing, I'm assuming, because it says over here, coming to Hasbro Pulse next year. So I'm assuming this will be a Pulse exclusive. Pre-order coming up in 2026. I gotta say, guys, they may still show up. I kind of expected that first Sentinel pack to show up at Ross this year, or Ollie's, because a lot of times the Hasbro Pulse exclusive seems to find a way to show up at one of these discounters. We still may see them before the Christmas season, who knows. But once again, you got another pack of these Sentinels. We got down here the variants coming to Hasbro Pulse sometime in 2026. Now, the first 2-pack of these, was it $55? I can't remember exactly how much they were. I'm thinking they were $54.99, but don't quote me on that. I'm not 100%, so I'm curious to see what the price is now. How much are these things going to be when they go up for pre-order? I will consider them if they're at the same price I paid for the other 2-pack. I'll get them. If they're over that, it depends on how much over that. A couple of dollars maybe, but if it's like $60, $65, I'm probably going to be out if it's anything over 60 bucks on these things. But once again, they do look cool. I like the smaller version of the Sentinels as far as having some stuff to pose with your figures like they're fighting them. And this will be coming sometime in 2026. We'll cover this more once they do announce the price and the official pre-order date. Real quick, guys, we already took a look at Apocalypse here on the Last Man Talk. I'm really looking forward to this. Cannot wait to get it. Now, when I first talked about this thing, I thought that I read it was a limited time order like the Sentinel was from X-Men 97. I could not find that information during the last recording, but I found it for this one. Now, this does have a expiration date. You can only order this up until November the 10th of this year. Order before November 10th, 2025 to call dibs on this Apocalypse. So once November 10th passes and November 11th comes about, you won't be able to pre-order this thing anymore. They do have a timer here on Hasbro Pulse's website. As of the time of this recording, I'm actually recording this on Sunday night. You got 8 days, 5 hours, 2 minutes, 17 seconds there as it ticks down. Now, by the time this video drops on Wednesday, this will be down to like 4 or 5 days remaining. So if you want to get Apocalypse and you've been on the fence about it, you have until the end of the day on November the 10th of 2025 to put an order in for Apocalypse. He is $119.99, and they expect this to ship on approximately December 1st of 2026. So once again, you got a little while to wait on Apocalypse here, but give you an idea of the scale. That's the X-Men 97 cable that's out, which is a good size figure in itself. Look how much bigger Apocalypse is in that cable. This is going to be awesome. Can't wait to get this. But wanted to give a quick update on this and a reminder. Again, get your order in on or before November 10th, 2025 to secure your Apocalypse. $119.99, only available on Hasbro Pulse. All right, let's shift some gears. See what I did? Got the car on the screen. Take a look at some upcoming releases from LEGO. Most of this will come out on January 1st, 2026. First one we're going to look at is on the screen right here in front of you. That is set number 77256, the Time Machine from Back to the Future, or as we so affectionately know it, the Time Machine DeLorean. Check this out, guys. You got Speed Champion scale DeLorean. Comes with a Doc and Marty minifigure. This looks sweet. If I see this in store, this will be a pickup for the man collects. But again, 357 pieces, under $30. I think given the current pricing of LEGO sets, the piece count to price ratio is decent on this one given the number of pieces. But again, this will come on January 1st, 2026. From everything I've looked at, this is not going to be like an online exclusive. We should see this in Walmarts and Targets, wherever carries LEGO. And of course, you can get it from LEGO's website, other Amazon, other retailers as well. But as far as the big box stores you're probably used to seeing on my channel mostly, it will be at Walmart and Target and places like that. Now, one thing I do want to show before we move off of this, you do get a 2-in-1, so you can do the build here from the look of the car from Back to the Future Part 1. You can also add some pieces here that it comes with to make it the flying version from Back to the Future Part 2. Now, it does not include the one from Part 3 that had like the wagon wheels and little stuff on the front they had to do to kind of rig it to get it to run in Part 3. But you can do either the Part 1 or Part 2 version, $27.99, and this is coming soon on January the 1st, 2026 from LEGO. All right, we got some Marvel stuff coming, and this is one right here that has my interest peaked. This is the Iron Man Mark III Collector's Edition. I can't remember, is it telling here exactly how tall this thing is? I know it's pretty good size. Here we go. Over 15 inches tall when you get it built. That's going to be a nice looking shelf piece in my opinion. And then look at this picture of it here. I mean, of course it's Lego. You're going to have some studs showing every now and then. But this looks pretty clean, guys. And looking at stuff online, there's a light brick inside there for the arc reactor. So you got some light up features to it. The piece count, 1,300 pieces, $129.99. Given the current prices of it, that's kind of right at the border of what I, as a consumer, would be willing to pay. But again, you may have differing opinion from me. But this is set 76344. It does go up on January 1st, 2026. And this one is up for pre-order now on LEGO's website. And I also saw it for pre-order on Target's website. So if you have a Target Red card, you can get a 5% discount, which is not a whole lot, but hey, it's a little bit of a discount if you get it from Target. So I will be looking forward to this one. I don't know if I'm going to get it, but I am very tempted by this one. I think that would look awesome on the shelf. And I do have the big Hulkbuster. I think it would look cool posed with that, if I ever build the Hulkbuster. But this one again, January 1st, 2026. Let me know your thoughts on these Lego sets. Another one here, $9.99, 72 pieces. That's probably a little bit more than what it should be. I am going to buy this, though, because I want that Ghost Rider minifigure. Check that out. Got a Spider-Man minifig and a Ghost Rider fig and a little buildable box set there, Spider-Man versus Ghost Rider. I am a Spider-Man fan, of course, but I am a huge Ghost Rider fan. So I definitely want this. It's a different style Ghost Rider minifigure than I've seen in the past, where it has the flaming eyes and the mouth there. The one I had before just had like the regular skull face on there. So looking forward to getting this in the collection. It could be a reuse. I have no idea. I did get the Ghost Rider out. It was out a couple of years ago that came with the bigger scale motorcycle build. But I'm going to be honest with you guys, I never built it, so this could be the same minifigure, I'm not for sure. But I am looking forward to this one as well. It's a simple set. All you get is the bike and the minifigures, but I like stuff like this on my lunch break. If I don't go out at work, honestly, this is the kind of thing I might pull out and build on my desk, during my lunch break or something for a little bit of stress relief. But $9.99, once again, January 1st, 2026. And if I didn't mention it, the set number 76335. All right, this one I was kind of excited about. I like Lego mechs. I like Lego Hulkbusters. I like the little base here with a little label you get on it. This is set number 76343, 413 pieces for $50. This is a little bit out of the price range I usually like to pay, but my biggest complaint with this, and that's looking at it here, look at the size comparison of the Hulkbuster compared to the Hulk. The Hulk is way too small, in my opinion, compared to the Hulkbuster. If you go back to Age of Ultron, which is what they're basing this off of, I think the Hulk figure is a little bit too small. You almost need a brick-built Hulk, in my opinion, to go with that. But that probably would have greatly increased the price. I kind of see why they did what they did, but that's just my little nerdy rant on it there. I think the Hulk minifigure, or Hulk, I guess, mega figure, he's bigger than a regular minifigure, is a little bit too small, just looking here compared to the size of the Hulkbuster. Will I be getting this one? No, I will be passing on this one. $50 for this, to me, it's not appealing enough for me to want to spend that much on it, even though I do enjoy brick-built Hulkbusters. But once again, it is coming January 1st of 2026. Again, set number 76343. And then the last one here, and this one I'm probably going to get because of this. You got the Venomized Wolverine figure. That's unique. That is cool. I like these little cars. I think these are kind of off the cuff, and why would Spider-Man have a customized spider car to drive through the city? But these are fun, and this is probably more geared towards kids. Now, your piece count and your price point is a little out of whack. To me, this should probably be around $12 or $13, and it's $20. But they know people are probably going to buy this because serious collectors, because everybody's going to want that Venomized Wolverine. I do think that looks pretty sweet. This is the selling point right here. For people who are fans of minifigures, they're going to want that minifigure. You're going to see that right there on eBay a whole lot during 2026, in my opinion, for people just wanting to get the minifig. Again, I'll buy the set. I can give the car to my son. He likes to take extra Lego pieces. He builds his own stuff all the time, so I'm sure he can use these pieces to the car here for something he might want to build, and I'll just hang on to the minifigures there. But this one, I probably won't get it right on January the 1st. This is something I'll probably long game until it goes on sale or it goes on clearance. But again, set number 76336, 134 pieces, $19.99 USD retail, and coming on January 1st of 2026. Hey, it wouldn't be toy news without at least something from McFarlane Toys. Here we go, guys. I may have talked about this previously on the channel, I don't know, but this did go up for pre-order since the last video that I made. You got the Batmobile here from the Batman Classic TV series, Batman 66. Now, this is DC Multiverse brand. This is not DC Direct, which is what the Batman 66 figure line was marketed under. So this should be for the 7-inch figures. So hopefully we're going to get some more figures for this. We did get an Adam West Batman here earlier in 2025. So hoping maybe get Robin and some other stuff. I wouldn't mind to have some more in normal multiverse scale from the Batman 66 show. This Batmobile, you can see they had it on sale on their website here for $67.99. It has sold out on McFarlaneToys.com, but you can get it available at other retailers as well. And the suggested retail price here, it's kind of hard to see, is $79.99. It should be around that price anywhere else you look at it, as far as the Big Bads, Entertainment Earths, and stuff like that. But the way the prices are nowadays, they might have marked it up. I don't know. I didn't look on those websites for it. I just went straight to McFarlane Toys store. But you do have this available. Well, it's not available here. Hopefully you can find it somewhere for pre-order if it's something that you do want. Or if you do want to try to get it from McFarlane Toys here, just keep checking back on the website. Maybe once they get them in, after they satisfy the pre-orders, they'll have some more stock to put back on the site here. Or you can catch it in stock on one of these other retailers that are going to be selling it. I'm passing on this one, guys. I think it's cool to have it. I wouldn't mind to have some more 7-inch scale figures based on Batman 66, but I've got the Batmobile from this that he had out under the Batman 66 figure line, so I'm good on my McFarlane 66 Batmobiles. But again, the price point on this one I thought was pretty good based on what some of the other ones have been. He was cranking out, under $80 for it. Now the figure is not included. You only get the the car here, but still pretty cool to see that come down the pipe. So if you're looking for that, guys, don't fret because it's sold out here at McFarlane Toys. Go check other online retailers and may still up for pre-order there. Back over to In Pursuit of Toys on Instagram. Let's take a look at some things that were announced here of image-only reveals for G.I. Joe Classified. A few things here in the world of Joe. Let's take a look here at the first one. And again, this is not any kind of figure renders. This is only pictures, kind of giving you a little teasers and figures that will be coming later on down the line. But we're going to have a 2-pack of Taurus and Red Dog. Now, for me to sit here and say I'm going to buy these or I'm not going to buy them, based on these, I'm not going to give an interpretation yet. I just want to let you know some things that are coming to get excited about. Once they do announce official images of the figures, price points, pre-order dates, stuff like that, we'll talk about that here on the channel. But just to get you excited, we have some things coming here. One I'm really looking forward to is the next one here. That is the Hydro Viper. I passed on the Diver 2-pack. I went back and forth several, and I still may end up buying the thing if I see it on Target, end up lucky finding it on a clearance or something like that. But I just don't have anything to pose those with, and I do open all my Joes and try to pose them on some of the dioramas I've got in here and things like that. But given that, I may grab the Hydro Viper just because they did a good job presenting it here on the old GI. Who remembers, who's my age or older or whatever, maybe younger if you're a trading card person, the G.I. Joe trading cards from the 90s. This is the Hydro Viper's card. I have got that complete set of trading cards. Love that G.I. Joe trading card set when I was a kid. That was a big deal in my elementary school back in the day, by the way. Was trying to trade around and look at those G.I. Joe cards. But the Hydro Viper's got me excited. I know it was a stupid reason to be excited where you can't even see what the figure looks like yet. But I like that they showed that old G.I. Joe trading card. That's pretty cool. You also have an image here of Zanya that will be coming down the pipe. Not a whole lot to go off of there, just that the figure will be coming. And then another one I'll be probably tempted to pick up is the Ninja Force Zartan. Out of all the classifieds I've got, I don't have a good Zartan. I like to have a classic one. I know they've made them, guys. I have gotten in and out of G.I. Joe's 2 or 3 times. When I've got out of it the last time, I sold almost my entire classified collection. And now I'm kicking myself for that. Because you follow my channel, you'll know I'm back into Joe's pretty hardcore now. But looking forward to this one. I may grab it when it comes out, but those are some image-only or name-only reveals that came from MCM Comic-Con as far as some upcoming G.I. Joe Classified. Now, let's take a look at some here that we do have some digital renders for. This will be a retro card wave that will be coming. Now, we did see here, I think we may have talked about this on the last video, I can't remember. We do have actual renders now for these things coming, so looking forward to that. You got the female version of the Crimson Guard. I got rid of my other Crimson Guards. Don't know if I'll grab this one or not, but again, this will be the retro cards, as you know that, because they come with the little figure base here, like most of the retro card figures do. But the other Crimson Guard figures have been solid. I assume that will be no different. You also have one that I am going to pick up, and that is Crazy Legs. Guys, I don't know why. When I was a kid, the vintage Crazy Legs figure, I loved it. I don't know what appealed to me about that character so much. Maybe the name Crazy Legs. I have no idea, but I loved that G.I. Joe figure back in the day, so I will grab this one whenever this wave does come out, if I can find it. I'm not going to pre-order this. I want to find it in store, but once again, looking forward to Crazy Legs. And then last but not least, you have Retro Zap coming out. Now, I've heard a lot of other toy channels blasting this one because it's plain and just olive drab with the brown accessories. That's what the character looked like, you know, from back in the original Joes. They didn't have a lot of bright, you know, colorful costumes. They all kind of wore standardized military uniforms in some of the early incarnation of the G.I. Joes. All that being said, I might grab Zap. I don't know yet. I'm going to have to wait and see when it comes out. The only one of these three I know for sure I want to get is Crazy Legs, and then I'm on the fence about the Zartan here for the Ninja Force. But as far as G.I. Joe, that's all I got for them this week. Let me know, guys, what you think. Are any of these going to be pickups for you when they come out? Which one of these are you most excited to see out of these name-only and then the new retro card digital renders of the figures coming down the pipe from G.I. Joe? Now, the spooky season might be over. We're now into November, headed towards the Thanksgiving and then get into Christmas holidays. We can still look at some good horror-themed stuff. NECA's Instagram, they got some of the Horrorween stuff they had announced. We got a pre-order coming for a re-release of the 8-bit version of Jason Voorhees. Now, this is based on his look from the Friday the 13th video game from 1989 that was out for the Nintendo Entertainment System. If any of my friends on here watching this are fans of the old NES, I think you would agree with me. This was one of the most frustrating video games for the NES. This was hard. I thought it was anyways. For one, you kind of wanted to scream out, what's the effing point of the game, to try to even figure the thing out to beat it. But back in the day, games are more challenging, I think, on these old 8-bit and 16-bit systems. They were a little more fun, but this game was fun. You pop into cabins, you didn't know when Jason was going to pop out, and when he did, yes, he looked purple and blue like he does here on the screen. Now, this figure was out a few years ago. I actually bought this off eBay for a price way over what the re-release is going to cost, but I'm glad to have that original release, and I've already got a pre-order in for this one. But you can see some images here on their social media of what the figure looks like. He looks like he did in the game. And again, I'm a huge Friday the 13th is my favorite horror franchise of all time. Jason Voorhees, my favorite movie slasher of all time as well. The Kane Hodder version, by the way, in my opinion, is the best. But check that out there. There he is without his mask on. That looks awesome, guys. NECA knocks it out of the park with these figures, in my opinion. Now, the one thing I'm seeing here that's different from the first version, number one, I can't remember if it came with all those accessories. I don't remember if it came with the head, Mom's head or not. I know it came with the weapons, and that looks very, very similar. But and then again, the one I've got, the old box didn't have that hanger. It's back in the day when they had the clear plastic hangers that stuck to the back of the boxes. That's on the one I have from the first one. So there are some subtle differences. That's one of the cool looks there of Jason, I think, that's shot there from part 7, right before he puts that axe in that snotty blonde's head. But once again, cool to see this coming as a re-release. Love the Friday the 13th stuff. But NECA, come on, work out whatever you got to work out, whatever lawsuits with Friday the 13th people's going on, settle the crap already, because we need an ultimate Part 8, Part 9, and Jason X version of these things from NECA to round out the NECA Jasons. I've got them all up to Part 7, but they stopped there. I always read it's because of the lawsuit going on with some of the licensing rights for Friday the 13th. So hopefully they'll get that stuff settled so we can get the rest of the movie figures of Jason as well. But to show you what this is going to cost, it is on NECA's website right now. This is store.necaonline.com. Regular price $37.99 for this, and it's still showing Q2 2026. And you can pre-order as of the time of this recording from NECA's website. Now, I did opt to get mine from Big Bad Toy Store. It is $40.99, so it's $3 higher on there. But the reason I did that is when I've gotten stuff from NECA Store in the past, the shipping has been iffy if they even ship it out on time. And then I've not gotten stuff in the best condition. They don't take a lot of care in packing their product, in my experience. And Big Bad Toy Store does. So I figure I want to keep this in box. I thought I'd have a better chance of getting. I'm willing to pay $3 extra to take a chance of getting one in better condition than paying the $37.99 here from NECA, and it'd be beat to crap when it comes in. But again, you can get it from NECA's website, you can get it from Big Bad. I'm sure Entertainment Earth and several other places had this up for pre-order, and we'll probably see it on store shelves as well in 2026. But if you want to get you a Jason and get it secured, you can do a pre-order now. Still on the theme, I guess, of some horror or scary-based stuff, let's head over to Big Bad Toy Store and the Big Bad Workshop from Fresh Monkey Fiction, and that is Operation Monster Force Dark Directives Wave 1. This went up for pre-order last week, guys. I think these look sweet. If you're not familiar with Operation Monster Force, this is a Big Bad Toy Store exclusive line of figures. I don't have them all because they're expensive, but I will say the ones I have are very nice, very high quality figures. They scale very well with your GIJoe classifieds, Action Force, and all that stuff as far as blending them in together, and I do like the supernatural theme of Operation Monster Force. Now, there are 4 figures coming out in this, 3, or if you have 4 figures you can take a look at here. We'll look at them here in a second, but again, keep in mind these are pricier figures, so use that in your discretion as far as putting in pre-orders for any of this stuff. Now, the one I did pass on, you do have the Count Dracula here, the Blood Prince version, and these are 6-inch scale figures, and again, the Big Bad Toy Store exclusive. These are supposed to come in around the third quarter of 2026, so unless they sell out of the pre-orders, you do have plenty of time to think about these to make up your mind. And I say all that because the standard figures, $39.99, $40 a figure. And as far as accessories, I have to say the first Count Dracula I bought, I can't remember how much he was. I think he was $30. I don't think he was $40, but he didn't come with a whole lot. Now, some of the military theme, like Declan Van Helsing and some of the other soldier style figures, they came with all kinds of different accessories. So some of these you get a little more bang for your buck. Make sure you pay attention to that whenever you're putting these pre-orders in, because Dracula only came with extra hands and extra head, and then the sword you see here. But This one I just wasn't interested in getting a red translucent version of Dracula. I mean, don't get me wrong, it looks cool, but for 40 bucks, this one I was going to pass on. Again, these figures, I brag on them. They are expensive, more, I guess, higher end action figures, but again, the paint apps are very nice on these. Not a whole lot of issues with breakage and stuff like that as far as I know. They seem to be pretty quality figures, but this is one of the options coming here, is Count Dracula, the Blood Prince from Monster Force Dark Directives Wave 1. Now, the rest of these, I saved the best for last, in my opinion. These look pretty cool. Let's move on to our next one. This, in my opinion, was the coolest one. I sent this, I think maybe the big dub. I was like, man, I'm powerless with this thing. It's a skeleton with a red robe holding a machine gun. How am I supposed to turn that thing down? You know, the 40 bucks makes it a little bit easier, but once again, I think this one looks pretty sweet. Who is this guy? You got the Dark Directives, the Red Reaper. I do want at least one of these. I did put a pre-order in for this, but again, if I change my mind, there's no deposit or anything. I can go in and cancel that pre-order, but I think it looks pretty sweet. But again, at the end of the day, it is just a skeleton in that soft goods robe with a machine gun. But you see, it does come with a couple different guns. He has an M16, M4 style there. He has like an M60 style machine gun there. It looks like it comes with some multiple weapons. He's got a sidearm. There's a different head sculpt with some horns coming out of it and some fangs. So you do get a little, well, it actually shows it here. It didn't show that for Dracula, but you can see what you get. You do get some extra hands, 2 extra head sculpts, 3 weapons, a knife. So you do get a good amount of accessories, but again, they are 40 bucks each. So I'm keep saying that. I know somebody's going to put in the comments, yeah, they're nice figures, but they're expensive. Yep, they are expensive. I agree with you 100%. That's why we have to be a little more careful with our spending as collectible prices keep going up. But this is one of the things here. I like it. As long as I can afford it, I want one of these in my collection. So I do have a pre-order in for one of these Red Reaper Monster Force figures. Alright, our next one I have here is a 2-pack for 70 bucks. So again, you got $35 each on these, which are a little bit cheaper than Dracula and the Red Reaper we looked at. If you break it down per figure, $35 a figure. But this is Those Who Trespass, 1/12 scale BBTS exclusive action figures. And here you can see what you got. You got a 2-pack of some skeletons. Now, the Mythic Legion skeletons, I wonder how they're going to compare to those. Because in my personal opinion, of all the skeleton figures I got, and as weird as it might sound, I do have a few, the Mythic Legion by the Four Horsemen are the best skeletons that I've got in my collection. So I'd be curious to see how these stack up. I am going to get one of the Red Reapers. I'm sure it's the same buck as what's on that. We can check it out there. But you can see here, they do come with at least a firearm. They got a shield and a sword. Let's see if it shows what else they come with as we go through here. Now, as far as looks go, these look awesome. I'm sure they're going to be good quality, but again, it's $70 worth of accessories and action figures here just for a skeleton and some weaponry. Well, looking here, I mean, you do get a good amount of stuff. You get 1, 2, you get 4 heads, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sets of hands. I don't know what that is right there. Maybe a helmet or something. I can't tell. You got a couple of set things that look like the guns are firing. 2 guns, 1 pistol. You got knives and swords, shields, sheaths, all kinds of stuff there. These are figure stands that look kind of like tombstones. But you do get a lot of accessories with it there for 70 bucks. You use your discretion if you think it's worth it or not. I'm going to wait on these. I may end up putting in a pre-order for these things. But as of right now, the Red Reaper, and then this next one's the only one I've got a pre-order in so far. But you do have one more figure in this, and that is the Azure Guard 1/12 scale, of course, once again, BBTS exclusive action figure. I just like the look of this. I like that blue translucent. I think it looks cool, so I put in a pre-order for this one. This looks kind of like a ghost skeleton to me or something like that. That's going to look cool. If you had a light-up base to put that on, like shining some light up through that, that would look awesome. But once again, I'll take a look at some of the images here from these, and let me know, guys, if you're in the comments, what do you think about these? I know the price is expensive. Do you have any of these Monster Force figures that you think is nice? Do you think they're a ripoff? I feel they're a step above GIJoe, but I have to say, my honest opinion of all, I guess, the military-themed figures that I have, Operation and Valaverse is the best, I think, as far as quality, what you pay for them, number of accessories. I mean, over GIJoe and the Monster Force stuff, I do like my Valaverse figures, but here you can see what you get. You get 3 different swords, you got a couple of knives there, some effects there make the guns look like they're firing. You get a sidearm, you get a rifle, you get 1, 2, you get 2 sets of hands. I don't know what exactly that is right there. You get a helmet and 2 extra head sculpts. So you do get a good amount of accessories with that. Let's go back to Dracula real quick. I mean, I've kind of wondered, does he not have any more accessories with him? We don't get a shot of Dracula there with the stuff he comes with. Maybe he does come with more than what you see, but I have to say, out of these four, he looks the one to me is kind of like, why is that $40? You do get a pretty good amount of accessories here with all the other ones given the price point. But I am looking forward to this one. I am looking forward to this one as well, and I may give in and get the skeleton pack here. Who knows? But once again, let me know in the comments what you think about the Operation Monster Force Dark Directives. Before we wrap it up, guys, let's take a look at the current Haslab, which is based on Tron. Now, I am recording this part of the video on Sunday, November the 2nd. As of now, we've still got 22 days left of this. Only 1,095 backers. Usually on these Haslabs, since I've been tracking them anyways, you do have a lot more than 1,000 backers after the first, 23 days of the campaign. So, I said this before, I'm going to say it again. In my opinion, this will not back. I think this one's going to fail. Why do I think that is? I don't think Tron is enough mainstream out there to really do a Haslab for, just in my personal opinion. And then I think the main thing is $260 for a 3 3/4 inch figure set. That's kind of ridiculous, in my honest opinion. Now, I think that's what's keeping people away. This is all you get. There are no unlockables. There are no tiers. You're going to pay $260, what you see here on the screen. That is 5 3 3/4 inch figures, 2 little light cycles scaled to them, and a cool looking base. It does have some light up features and stuff to it, but me personally, just looking at it for what it is, not the intellectual property, I do not see $260 on that. Let me know what you think about this, guys. Has anybody backed this? Do you think it's going to end up backing? They always do get a big surge right before the campaign ends, but usually it's a lot farther along by this point in the game on a Haslab, so I don't see this one getting funded. But with all that being said, everybody, that's going to round out the toy news looking at the Haslab here. Now let's switch over. I'll show you some stuff we got in the mail, and we'll wrap up another version of Man Talk. Not so fast, my good friends. We have one more thing of toy news to cover, and I almost forgot this, and I had it on the thumbnail, so I had to get this in here at the end. But we do have a new Batman animated series 1/6 scale figure from Mondo. You see it here on the screen. It is Big Bad Harv. It is Two-Face. Always loved this character in the edition of, or the version of him on Batman the Animated Series. I don't know if any of you have any of these 1/6 scale figures from Mondo. I've got 2. I've got Sabretooth from the X-Men Animated Series, and I've got Bane from Batman the Animated Series. Both of them are awesome figures, very high quality. Now, they're pricey. They're a more high-end collectible, I guess you could say, but you see here at the top, it is $235 for Two-Face here, and that's not including shipping, and it's got here subject to tariff surcharges and all that stuff. Don't know how much that adds to it, but it is $235. It's a limited edition, so limited to 1,500 units. So this may be something you want to try to grab if you want this limited edition one, but a limit of 2 figures per household, which I don't know why you want to buy more than one anyways, unless you're going to try to hold on to it and resell it or whatever. But let's take a look at some of these images, guys. These things are usually very high quality, very nice. You can see here some of the stuff from Big Bad Harv. I like how you get the thing there with the straight jacket. That's pretty cool. You get a bunch of extra hands. The coin flipping on those, that is awesome, because Two-Face is famous for that coin. Comes with his Tommy gun. You got 1, 2, 3 head sculpts. You got the hooded side there, which if you watch the animated series, when he first became Two-Face, he wore that little kind of drapery over before he finally took it off just to embrace the Big Bad Harv. Got a cigarette lighter, some dynamite, and again, some extra hands and stuff there, some other weapons he comes with. So, a lot of accessories come with this 1/6 scale figure. And guys, Hot Toy people may correct me on this. I've heard Hot Toys are a little better quality, but this is cheaper than getting a Hot Toy. I think the Hot Toys usually, like $300 or $400? I don't know that for sure. I don't keep that close of an eye on them, but for $235 here, you would get Two-Face. It does have articulation. You can see here in the picture, he's got elbow joints and knee joints and all that good stuff where you can pose him a little bit there. There's a 360. Now, one thing I see on this I don't really like is the cell shading, but again, it is based on the animated series. I don't know if my Bane's got cell shading on it or not. I need to get off the shelf and look at it, but to me, that's kind of a downside. I'm not a big fan of cell shading, but here you go, 12 inches tall there, showing the dude holding it up there in the picture. Look at that. That is an awesome, whoever took that picture, that is an awesome picture right there, him holding the coin. That's pretty sweet. But the figure looks great. This tempts me, to be quite honest. I wouldn't mind to have this in the collection, but I'm trying to get away from stuff like this. I'm trying to get more into actual 6 and 7 inch action figures rather than trying to get some of this higher end 6 scale stuff just because of the price and then trying to find shelf space for them. So they do look sweet though, I gotta say. Some more images of Big Bad Harv there to look at. But if you do like this stuff, guys, check out the other Batman animated series figures from Mondo if any of them are still available for order. But Like I said, very nice quality on these things. They look great. And I'm sure if you're a fan of this, it would look good in your collection. Oh, that looks cool there. Batman's got him, got the straight jacket on him. But $235, guys. MondoShop.com. Check it out if you're interested. And now that wraps the toy news. All right, my friends, let's wrap this one up. We got some mail calls here to show you that we're going to close out another edition of Man Talk. Just got this box you can see the top of here in today as I'm recording this, and this is from Go New Metas. This should be my Batgirl and my Scarecrow from DC Multiverse. So let's see what kind of condition these things are in, taking them out. Now, they did have a lot more packing material in here. There was all kinds of this, but whatever reason, my wife liked that, so she took the other paper from her and my daughter to do some kind of craft stuff with this. I got to take her this piece too. Long story short, something here for the whole family. Something for me and something for them. But let's see what we got in here, guys, and what kind of shape they're in. First, we have, ooh, it's like Scarecrow. And then again, you know, you got them wrapped up here in bubble wrap. They are glued or taped together. There you go. Look at that. Box shape is impeccable. The hanger's not bent, so good job packing. Another successful order from, what are they called? Go New Meta. Ha, almost forgot. Sorry, it's been a long day. And then we got our Batgirl. So this is why you've been seeing me pass up on these when I've been finding them in retail, because I already had them pre-ordered. I was waiting on them to come in. So we have finally got them. And there is Batgirl, again, in good shape. Once again, I've already given Go New Meta a plug during this video, but they're a new company. They're doing a good job. They got fair prices, good cheap shipping. And then our friend Carlos with that 10% discount code. That's awesome. But I got to get this box off my desk and show you the rest. So I'll be right back. Haha, we're back. Okay, let's show you the rest of the stuff we got in. We did get this from Entertainment Earth. Again, we are a completionist on our Street Fighter 2 from Jadus. They had the Player 2 Cammy. Pre-ordered that when it first went up. We got that in. I don't remember when we got it in, but we got it in since the last Man Talk video. And to complete my Batman Return set, we did get our order from McFarlane Toys. We got our Penguin Commandos. These look awesome. I almost wish I would have got one of these to open, but those are staying sealed. And then from Big Bad Toy Store, I've always been a fan of these. This figure line here is actually how I got to know William Golden to the channel. He helped me get the Flash, you know, a couple years ago. But we did get the Batman, the Flashpoint, the black, white, and red accent edition. This thing looks awesome, guys. The red suit version there of the Flashpoint Batman. So we did grab that from Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth. Big Bad Toy Store for that one. Any other mail calls laying around here? I guess that's all I've got in the mail, guys. We're going to sign out now. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell for notifications. Follow me on Instagram. All that good stuff. We're leaving here for now, but I will see you back here next time Man Comes Around.